Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for team selection video for game week 31. Obviously, a quick stream. Obviously, we've just finished the stream, so hopefully you've managed to watch the transfer tips video. But yeah, we're back again for obviously the team selection video. So we won't waste too much of your time. Let's get started. We'll quickly recap Game Week 30, and then we'll go on to Game Week 31. So this is how my team went. You know, my Game Week 30 so far. Again, I think it was a good week for me personally. It could have been better, but I can't complain too much. So in goal, did have Dubravka, who did concede a couple of goals to West Ham in the 4-3 in the crazy match. In the back three, I had Zabani, who conceded late on against Everton to wipe the clean sheet. Gabriel, however, did keep a clean sheet against Man City, which maybe a lot of us didn't see coming. But, you know, it was a 0-0, and Gabriel comes over with a 6-pointer. Pedro Porro did concede early on to Luton as well in the week, which wasn't great. No attacking return either. In the midfield, we had Maddison, who did blank, came off came off early, subbed off due to tactics. Son, however, did come up trumps, got a goal, and he was my captain, so got the 3 bonus points. Big goal for him because it took him from like 5 points all the way to 10 points. It's a big swing, and it comes with a 20-pointer, which was nice. Salah, again, on the other hand, did score as well. Could have had a lot more. Should have maybe had 2 or 3 goals. I think non-owner's very fortunate to get away with just the 1 goal for Salah, because he could have easily had a massive haul that day if he had his shooting boots on. Douglas Luiz did blank in the Aston Villa's 2-0 win. So nothing to really discuss there. Palmer, again, did carry on his form. He did score the penalty and also the second goal as well in Chelsea's 2-2 draw against Burnley, 10 men Burnley. But yeah, Palmer comes away again, 15-pointer, gets the bonus point. So yeah, he ends a good week for him in terms of FPL. Up front, Tony again comes over with just the assist. I think again Brentford were quite unlucky in that game not to win that. Obviously they did play really well. They peppered United. Could have been 3 or 4-0, but it was only 1-1 in the end. But yeah, a bit frustrating that Tony didn't get a lot more from that game. Watkins again came off injured. I believe half time. Looks like it's a hamstring now. He could be out for 31. Comes over with a blank on the bench. Not much to discuss either. Blanks all round as well from Ariola, Morris, Doughty, and Taylor. So all in all, it is a green arrow, which I'll take it all day. 64 points overall, up to 127k now overall rank as well. So a good week for me. And now I'm going to wildcard. Hopefully I can break in to 100k now. But yeah, Jordan, same as you. Let's pull up your Game Week 30 team.
So here's my Game Week 30 team roundup. So in goal, Leno, no clean sheet for him. Only the 1 point in that shocking draw to Sheffield. Back 3, Doughty, he went off injured late stages of the game, but no clean sheet for him either. Same goes for Bradthwaite, no clean sheet for him in that 2-1 loss to Bournemouth, so he only gets the 1 point. Only Gabriel is the one that, as out of all those fixtures, was the most surprising one to get a clean sheet from, with his one against Man City in that 0-0 draw. So yeah, Gabriel has saved the back 4. Moving on to midfield, so Foden, obviously he was silenced in that game, no goals from Man City, so he only gets a clean sheet point with 3. Salah, on the other hand, he does manage to score 1 goal in that Brighton 2-1 win, that Liverpool 2-1 win, sorry, and gets his 7 points. He could have had much more from that game. My captain, Palmer, paid off massively this week, scoring his 2 goals, and I was rewarded with his 30 points for the captaincy over him, and the bonus 3 too. So quite happy with that. I got the captaincy right for this game week. And then finally Saka, he came off around 70 or so minutes in that game. It was really quiet, very stalemate, cagey, and only the clean sheet point for him from that game. Moving on to the front 3, so Haaland blanked, obviously against Arsenal. I think a lot of non-Haaland owners are happy with that, only getting the 2 points. Muniz, on the other hand, he manages to score a very delayed equaliser against Sheffield. So I was quite happy that he managed to get obviously return in that game late on, and he was rewarded with the 6 points. And finally, we've got Watkins, who came off after the first half ended, so he never returned to the second half. So he's only rewarded with 1 point. And nothing really to say on the bench. Areola went off injured in that 4-3 madness against Newcastle, only getting a save point from that game, so it leaves him with 2. Ake, similarly, he only played 26 minutes, so he only got 1 point. Bell and Huang, neither of them played during their fixtures in Game Week 30 because of injury. Overall, it's not been a terrible week, not a bad week in terms of Red Arrow. I'm still surprised it is a Red Arrow. But I was 35k, dropped down to 40k, so it is a slight 5k Red Arrow for me. I did take a -4, but after the 62 points I got this week, so it isn't so bad. It could have been much worse, I think, for me.
Okay, so that's Game Week 30 out of the way. Let's pull up Game Week 31 teams, what we're looking at, and obviously what the plans are. So first of all, as you can see from the title, I am on a wild card. I've activated it already. I've done my team because obviously there was a lot of price rises. I wanted to catch some of the price rises, so I went early last night. I'll quickly just read through my team. This was pre-wild card, so I had Dubravka, Zabani, Gabriel, Porro, Madison, Son, Salah, Douglas Luiz, Palmer, Tony, Watkins, and on the bench I had Areola, Morris, Doughty, and Taylor. So there's a few players, as you can see, that I want to get rid of. There's a few players that I need to bring back in, like Saka's one I'm looking at bringing him in because I don't have him. Haaland is another one that I went without for a couple of weeks. It's paid off, but now I think I want to bring him back in. And then just a couple more, obviously a couple of flags I've got in the team as well. And I just want to rejig it and change it. It's not a massive change. 9 players, I think, from my wild card, and I'll just bring that up on the screen and show you guys what I've gone with. So if I could switch it over to my wildcard team. There you go. Are you there?
Yes, sorry, it's just slightly frozen.
Yeah, no worries.
And there we go. It's switched.
Okay. So in terms of the wild card, this is what I'm looking at in terms of what I've gone with. There is quite a few changes. I think there's about 9 changes, which is enough, I think, to warrant the wild card. Obviously, a lot of those are on the bench. I thought about, do I need to wild card? Do I save it till 35? But I thought there's no point. I'm going to miss out on a lot of price rises, and there's no point waiting further when I have to take hits and things like that when I don't want to take any more hits, because my plan is not to take any more hits the rest of the season. So in goal, I am bringing in Kelleher, which is a change. He's got Sheffield United at home. And the bench goalie is Petrovic as well, who's a new goalie. I'm bringing in the Chelsea keeper because he does double in 37 or 36. Future double he will have. Kelleher, again, mainly short-term fixture against Sheffield, is really good. I know Alisson's going to be back soon, so I will deal with that when Alisson's back. I'll just drop Kelleher to the bench. He's cheap enough to bench, and I'll just play Petrovic and then maybe take out Kelleher for Onana or something like that in Game Week 37 when I want to play my bench boost. Back 3, Pedro Porro's gone out for you, doggy. So literally budget reasons. If I could afford it, I'd probably go Pedro Porro. Saving the money on there. Gabriel stays. Got Luton at home. Good fixer this week. I could see a clean sheet for Arsenal there potentially. So yeah, there's no need to get rid of Gabriel in my opinion. The defender I have bought in, it's slim pickings in defense. There's not really much options, but I think Aït-Nouri's got some decent fixtures leading up into Game Week 34. Got Burnley away this week. He does have a bit of attacking threat. We know he was taken off, but he was fatigued, so he should be fine for Burnley. If not, I do have a few bench players on there. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Aït-Nouri could do against Burnley. But yeah, in terms of the back 3, starting Udogie, Gabriel, Aït-Nouri is not too bad. Yeah, I was struggling with the defense because I didn't know who to select. There's other options out there, but I've landed on this because I was also considering a Newcastle defender, but I'm not sure with Newcastle defense right now, the way it's looking with the injuries they have. So I thought I'd just go with Aït-Nouri. In the midfield 4, there's not much change at all, really, because I think I've got the main guys I want in there, which is Son, Salah, Palmer already I had in my normal team. I mean, Son's got West Ham away. I think it's a decent fixture for Son. Obviously, West Ham conceding a couple of goals to Newcastle. I think Son could have a decent game. So yeah, I'm happy to keep him in the wild card. I don't want to go without him. Salah again, I think he's going to be the main captaincy pick this week. He's my captain. I think if you've not got Salah, I think you should probably look to bring him in. Great home fixture. Had the double in 34 as well. Yeah, Salah was a no-brainer on the wild card. Obviously, I had him in my normal team anyway. Again, Saka's one I'm not so sure about bringing in, not because obviously I don't want him, but I'm hearing rumours that he could actually miss out in that Luton game with a benching, which would be annoying. But if he does get a benching, I do have Garnacho first bench, so we'll have to see if Saka does get a benching. But in terms of the fixture, it's a good fixture for Saka. Luton at home, you'd expect Arsenal to win quite comfortably, maybe 2, 3, 4 goals, who knows. So yeah, Saka comes back into the wild card. Palmer's there again. He's been in my team from previous before the wild card. I mean, he's got Man United at home. It's a decent fixture. I mean, I actually don't know what you're going to get in that game. Could be anything. Could be 3-1 to Man United. It could be 3-1 to Chelsea. It's an unpredictable game, I think. So yeah, I'm going to play Palmer anyway. See what he does. I think he could do well. We know he's on penalties as well, and yeah, happy to play him. Front three has been where the main rejig has happened because I wasn't happy with my strikers. I had Tony, Tony's actually got good fixtures, but I just wanted to take him out, even though I think Tony will start returning soon. I just think he will when I've sold him, but it is what it is. And I had can't remember who else I had. Obviously Watkins is now injured. I bought in the big hitters for me, the front three that I wanted, which is Isak, Darwin, and Haaland. Haaland comes back into my team after missing the last couple of games. We know Haaland had Liverpool, blanked, then Arsenal. So for me, that was the right time to get rid of him. Now he comes back in, got Villa at home. I don't think that's an easy fixture for Haaland, if I'm being honest. But I'm bringing him in anyway because I'm wild carding, and realistically, I wouldn't even want Haaland for this fixture, but next fixture I would want him. So I think I've got away with not having Haaland, but I think now is the time to probably bring him back in. Especially with Watkins being out, could be a good option for Man City to get a win. Darwin's coming into my team because obviously I think on paper Liverpool have the best fixture this week against Sheffield. And we know Darwin's going to double in 34 as well. For those that don't have a free hit, I think he could be a decent move. There is obviously rotation risk worries with Darwin because Darwin played 80 minutes against Brighton on the weekend. Is he going to start again on Thursday? Liverpool play, because Liverpool play Thursday, Sunday. They got Man United on Sunday, so we assume Darwin's going to play against Man United. Is he going to start the Sheffield game? Is 50-50, is contentious, but I'm going to have him anyway because even if he comes off the bench, I still will back him to score. So yeah, he's in the team. And Isak, we know he got a couple of penalties against West Ham, didn't he? I was going to bring Isak in if I wildcarded in Gameweek 30. I missed out on the 15-pointer, but now I want to bring him back in. I think Isak, decent home fixture. I mean, Everton haven't been great recently. We know Isak might double, will double, I think, in Gameweek 37. So longer term, I like him as well. Newcastle got the win, but they don't look great as well defensively. But I think as a forward, he's still back Isak to score. So yeah, I like him as a pick, and I think Everton at home is a decent fixture. Hopefully, he's still not too highly owned. So hopefully, he can do some damage. And then on the bench, I've decided, to go with Petrovic. He swaps quite well in the future. Had the double as well. Garnacho, he's only in there because of cheap enabler. I could have went with Gordon. If I had the budget, I prefer Gordon over Garnacho, but I just don't have the money to go to Gordon. So Garnacho is who I've gone with. We know Garnacho is going to have a double game against 37 when I bench boost. So I will be bench boosting Garnacho. That's just the future planning. And that's why I brought him in. Van Heck, again, we know he's going to have a decent fixture in Gameweek 33. So Van Heck is someone I plan to just keep on the bench, play a couple of weeks when he's got nice fixtures. So we know Brighton have a decent fixture in 33 when I'm going to play Van Heck. And Gusto is, again, it's more future planning. We know Gusto played 80 minutes or so, went off injured. Don't know how serious it is. We don't know how serious it's going to be either because we're not going to get any team news. But I'm going to keep Gusto in there anyway, even though he's flagged, because I will want him potentially for the future because we know Chelsea are going to double as well in 37. And Chelsea have some decent fixtures long term. And I did like his attacking threat before his injury. So he's in there because he's cheap as well. I'm hoping we hear some news. If not, I'm going to risk it with him. And if he is injured long term, I'll just take him out with one of my transfers in 32 or 33. So that is my wildcard team, guys. I've gone with quite a few changes, especially in the forward line. leaves me with 0.6 million in the bank as well. My team value is 104.4 million as well with this current team. So, it's decent team value. So I don't know if most of you guys can get there. If you're wild card in, should be able to. But I like the team because I've got the main guys I want: Salah, Son, Haaland, Saka, Palmer, and then obviously fitting in Isaac Darwin as well, which is quite nice. And yeah, in terms of the setup for the rest of the season, I think it will set me up quite well. I plan to free hit in Gameweek 34. And then bench boost in 37. That will be my team. And hopefully no more hits as well for the rest of the season. So that's the wildcard team, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're on a wildcard. Let me know if you would make any changes to this wildcard team. What do you think of the wildcard team, Jordan? Would you be making any tweaks to it? Is there someone else that you'd bring in or?
I think it's pretty good. I think only the doggy one is the only one I'd probably change. But I know it's hard to find another defender to go in that slot for him. But I'm just not keen on that Spurs defense. And yeah, the doggy attack and returns isn't like great either. But similarly to Pedro Porro, it's not been fantastic for Spurs. So that's really the only change I would make. Obviously, you did speak about having Gordon. I would have liked to have Gordon in that team, but obviously he's on a red card, so he's suspended for this game week. But yeah, he would have been nice also. Apart from that, it looks pretty good. I think in terms of wildcard and chip strategy, I think at the moment it will work out for those because there is a lot of injuries after that international break. And those who don't have a chip, like me, for example, I've used my wildcard and free hit. It's going to be a real struggle to get through these next game weeks with the amount of flags there are.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to have Gordon as well in my team. It's just a budget. If I had it, Garnacho to Gordon would have been easy, but 0.6 doesn't let me go up to Gordon because I think Gordon's 6 million and I've only got 5.5 when I sell Garnacho. So yeah, that is the main reason why. But yeah, that's my wildcard team out of the way, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let's move it along though to your team. Obviously, your gaming. So you got a couple of flags. Talk us through your plans, your transfer plans for this game week as well.
Yeah, this is like a bad memory from the last time I had these many flags and had to forcibly wildcard these players out. But yeah, I mean, the team is not looking too bad. Let's start off with the goalkeeper. Obviously, I'm playing Leno against Nottingham Forest away. As we know now, Ario is ruled out for that Tottenham at home fixtures. So we have to see what Fulham can do against Nottingham Forest away. I mean, a clean sheet, I'm not too confident now, especially when they conceded 3 to Sheffield United, which I thought would be a nice clean sheet for them, but turns out it wasn't. So yeah, maybe Leno can make a few saves during that game and maybe get a clean sheet. But let's talk about the back three now. So Delty was flagged, but he's still flagged as yellow for a knock. So it wasn't for his hamstring like it was before when he came off in the first half. So maybe he does make it for that Arsenal away game. We won't know whether he's going to be fit or not. But I will talk about it later in terms of my plans, what's happening with Delty. But for now, let's move on to the next defender, Gabriel. Pretty easy. Luton at home, so a fixture that's no real fuss, I'd say. Arsenal need to win it and potentially keep a clean sheet in that, I think so, unless there's any obviously upsets in that game. But without Doughty, I think that's a big miss for Luton. So move on to the last defender, that is Brantwaite, and as you can see, I have to play Brantwaite because I have no defensive options on the bench because they're all out injured. So he has got Newcastle away though, so I'm not too put off by that fixture because I don't expect many clean sheets this week from many teams, apart from the obvious ones like Liverpool, Arsenal. So yeah, maybe Brantwaite can nip a clean sheet against Newcastle, even though it's an away one. Could be maybe attack and return from him, but I'm not hoping for much either from him. But let's move on to the positives in the midfield. So Salah, Sheffield United at home. I think this is obviously going to be the majority captaincy for that week. Standout one, even though there's other good options. I think he will be the most popular pick. Again, no-brainer. Sheffield United, they have struggled through this season, and Liverpool have to excel now, especially with that Arsenal-Man City draw at the weekend. That just gives even more positives for Liverpool now that they're at the top of the table now. So let's move on to Saka, who has Luton at home. So he's playing against Doughty. And yeah, there are doubts he will play in that game. But I think even if he doesn't, he might he'll probably come on anyway and play some minutes. Just depends how many minutes he does get in that game. But there's always that opportunity, like Saka could score or even get a penalty if he does come on during that period of time. Hopefully he doesn't get a penalty while he's off the pitch if he doesn't start. But yeah, I think it's a good fixture for him and any other Arsenal assets you may own as well. Moving on to Palmer, who's got Man United at home. And if Man United played the way they did against Brentford and fortunately got a draw from them, I think Palmer's going to have a field day against Man United, because they look like they're all over the place still. It hasn't seemed to be much change, even though Hoyland's back in the team. It's still just dysfunctional. I know they have a few injuries like Luke Shaw at the back, and Martinez is a big miss as well. I just think I'm not really positive as a Man United fan for that fixture. And even though Chelsea haven't been that great either in that sense, drawing to Burnley, I still think that's a good game for Palmer. Even if Chelsea does terrible, Palmer finds a way to score the goals for them and rescue them from maybe a loss or a draw. So yeah, he's definitely going to play a key part in that game, I think. So moving on to last midfielder, that's Foden, who's got Aston Villa at home, and I've held on to Foden for quite a while now, considering he hasn't had much fortune in the last coming game weeks. That Man City one, especially, the Arsenal one, being very dry and not really much coming from him. He even came off the pitch, not playing the full 90 minutes in that game. But the Aston Villa one, that should be a good game without Watkins and obviously McGinn as well. That could be good for Man City at home at the Etihad. For them to still be in the title race, I think it's an important game for them to win now and get those 3 points after that draw against Arsenal. So I think Foden will still play a key role in that team. So moving on to the front three, I've gone with Muniz, who's got Nottingham Forest away. I think he is a good asset to own in the next four, because Fulham's fixtures are really nice, and the way he's been playing for them, I think he's definitely a good replacement for Mitrovic, who was formerly the Fulham forward. I think he's pretty much the next best player for them, and he's pretty much rescuing Fulham at this moment in time with his goals. So yeah, I'm happy to play him against Nottingham Forest away. Should be a good fixture, actually, end-to-end one for sure. And finally, second we've got Watkins, who's got Man City away. It's very unlikely he's going to start in that game. I think the medicals team obviously advised Emery to take Watkins off to avoid any more serious injury to him. So it was precautionary, but I don't think he'll be ready for that Man City game. I think he will step out of that one and obviously recover from his hamstring. It's a very sensitive place for an injury, so I don't think Emery will take a risk with his key striker playing him against Man City, even though it's a big game for obviously Aston Villa. But he does have a replacement up front for him anyway. But yeah, highly unlikely Watkins will start. And finally, we've got Haaland, who is obviously playing against Watkins if he was going to play Aston Villa at home. So yeah, I think a lot of people are going to bring Haaland back in now that the fixture swing is a little bit more easier. But we have to wait and see what Haaland does. I don't think it'll be that big of a captain pick for this week, because there's still better fixtures out there. But I'll still happily own Haaland regardless if he does manage to get something out of that game. And in terms of the bench, there's not really much to talk about really, apart from all these players, Areola, Ake, Bell and Huang will miss all of their fixtures for game week 31. So I have no bench options to go with in case of any starting 11 players don't start. So without further ado, let me move on to the transfer plan. So I do have one free transfer. I kind of wish I had two, but unfortunately I do have one, and I have 0.5 million in the bank. So there was a few ideas I wanted to go with, but I've stuck with this one for now. I am going to take another -4, and I really don't want to do it again, but it looks like I have to due to the way that my team is at the moment. I've got flags all over the place. So what I'm considering is taking out Watkins and taking out also Huang for my team. So maybe it's a bit of a strange one, because you would assume I would make a defender transfer as I only have two playing, but I am taking out the forward Watkins and taking out the midfielder Huang, who's on the bench at the current moment. And the players I'm bringing in for these two are going to be, I'm going for cheap. I'm going with Semenyo, the Bournemouth forward, and I've gone with Son. He's obviously got West Ham away. Now, let me explain my reasons for bringing in, obviously, well, in particular, Son. I wanted to downgrade Watkins. Him being injured has given, obviously, a benefit to me because I could just downgrade him to Semenyo, which gives me enough money to bring in Son, which I think I've been missing out on because with his only goal last game week, it did affect my rank, I think, a lot because he was my biggest threat, where I'm around about where the 40k mark is. So I'm going to bring him in just as a safety net because without him, I just feel like I'm not going to get anywhere in terms of my rank, even though the rest of my team could do well. And if Son keeps his good run of form on as well, I think I'm going to miss out on him. So I'm going to bring him in just for safe sake. Like I can get something, a green arrow, hopefully, from this game week, even though I'm taking another -4 and seeing how that plays out. But yeah, I think that's a good fixture against West Ham away, considering Newcastle scored 4 against them. So yeah, I'm looking very positive for that game. But yeah, that's the current plans, I think, for me in terms of my team selection. I don't think that will change come near the deadline stream. But let me know, guys, if this is obviously the right decision to make. It does mean, though, I could go with 10 players only for Game Week 31 if Doughty doesn't play. So I think I'm comfortable with that because there's not really any defender choices that I'm really missing out on for me personally.
Okay, interesting. So obviously Jordan probably lining up another -4 there. Potentially. So I'm on a wild card, so make sure you guys do tune in for the deadline stream tomorrow at 5 o'clock. I won't be there, unfortunately, because I'll have work. So Jordan will take the deadline stream. So make sure you do tune in, guys, and then should be a good stream. Let's take a few comments. We've got Morris. I can't afford Nunez. Best Watkins replacement: Mateta, Muniz, or Cunha. I think it depends on your chip strategy, Morris. If you don't have a free hit, then I like Mateta or Cunha. Probably Mateta. If you've not got a free hit, I like Mateta. If you have a free hit, then I still probably prefer Cunha. If you've got a free hit. Actually, sorry, if you've not got a free hit, Cunha or Mateta, I think both of them are fine. I probably just side with Cunha. I don't know, but it's a tough one. Muniz is nice. The only thing with Muniz is he doesn't have a double, but he does have good fixtures before the double anyway. So
yeah,
it depends on what you're looking for. Do you want another double, or if you don't, then I think Muniz is the one on form.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Muniz for now until obviously the doubles come around, and then maybe take him out for a double game week player because I wouldn't want to miss out on Muniz's points during now till then, I think.
Yeah, and also Obafemi with a comment in regards to your team, I think, about fixing your defense for a -4. Is that something you've considered, the defense?
I mean,
you can't bring Son in otherwise if you do that, basically.
Yeah, that's the only issue. If I don't bring Son in and take a -4 for a defender, and Son goes on to do really well against West Ham away, then that's an instant red for me, with no doubt. It could be even worse of a red in terms of my rank if I don't have Son in my team and he does well. I don't think he'll blank for that fixture, and I think going without 3 defenders at the back isn't as bad as going without Son in that sense for my team.
And John Tao, hi guys, which do you prefer for a -8? Porro, Foden, Watkins to Bradley, Salah, Muniz, or Porro, Son, Watkins to Bradley, Salah, Darwin? No free hit. Wildcard and bench boost available. Plan to wildcard in 34.
Interesting.
I mean, I think I would wildcard right now if I were you, if you're instead of taking a -8. Or wildcard in 35. I wouldn't be wildcarding in 34. There's no point. Because if you take a -8 to bring Bradley, Salah, Darwin in, they're gonna have a double in 34 anyway. So best bet is to wildcard out the doublers, like wildcard out the Liverpool players. So if you're looking to wildcard, you have to do it this week or 35, in my opinion. A wildcard 34 doesn't make sense because obviously you're gonna have doublers anyway. So you're gonna be wildcarding in likes of Salah or Darwin, who you're already going to have. So yeah, in that regard, what I'd do, I'd wildcard right now, Junta, if I were you, like similar to what I'm doing. Or you wait till 35, you take your hits, bring in the Liverpool players. But I think Liverpool players is a priority. If you don't have Salah, bring him in. If you don't have Nunes, I think he's a good pick. Again, could be a minute's risk this game week, but we know Nunes had a double as well. But I prefer the Darwin one over the Mooney's one. I prefer Darwin over Mooney's. I know Jordan's on Mooney's, but I like Darwin because of the double in 34. And that's what sways me to go with Darwin mainly. And I think he does actually have a really good fixture this week. The only thing is obviously if he's going to start, but I mean Liverpool do need to win, and I think there's no debate. Like Darwin is the first choice striker at Liverpool. So that's what it comes down to. Again, it's mainly chip strategy. And then Morris will Cunha play this week? Yeah, I think he should play. He should play.
Yeah.
Can we see your wildcard draft as well? Says John Tao.
Yeah, I can go back to. That is the wildcard draft for Hussey's on the screen right now, guys.
So there you go, John Tao. That is my wildcard draft. I mean, if you want to go back as well, you know, I did show it earlier on during the video as well. Sorry, Jordan, you were going to say something as well.
In terms of Cunha, I think Wolves can really afford to not play him because they are doused with injuries as well in their squad. So they have to play the strongest one they can for these next weeks. Yeah,
that's true. I think Cunha is one of the nailed players they have. But yeah, I think that's it from us, guys. If you are enjoying the content, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you do hit that like button, guys. As always, much appreciated. All your likes on the video. Also, make sure you do subscribe, guys. If you're watching the content and you are enjoying it, you know, hit that subscribe button. Get us to 2,000 subs if you can. That's the next target. And yeah, I think that's it from us. Anything else you want to add, Jordan?
I think that pretty much wraps everything up. I mean, it's been a busy, obviously, stream doing transfer tips earlier on and team selection just now, and obviously deadline stream coming tomorrow. So it's a fast turnaround. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the content that we deliver, and yeah, join us tomorrow or join me tomorrow in the deadline stream and see if I go forward with my plans in my team. But yeah, until then, take care, enjoy your bank holiday, whatever you have planned for that, and see you tomorrow.